You are not alone. How I realized I struggled with an eating disorder. This video is part 3 of a 4-part series on my struggle with an eating disorder.
I made excuses as to why I couldn't eat because I wasn't hungry, and I really didn't feel hungry, but I knew it was me mentally telling myself not to be hungry. I want you to know that it looks like this. Anorexia can look like this, bulimia can look like this, binge eating can look like this, because I've experienced all shapes of this. My most recent experience has looked like anorexia. And I say eating disordered because I don't have a pattern of, I'm not stick thin. I haven't eaten like this for 365 days straight. But it is something that clearly is triggered by emotion. So know that you might see someone who looks like they are average size and they are battling with it. And you might see someone, have a friend that's recently lost weight. Maybe don't tell her how skinny she is. Like, that hurts too, because as much as, and it's funny because as being someone who's been bigger, I have felt that being skinny was always ideal. And now that I'm hearing people say it sometimes in a negative way, I'm realizing that it hurts too on both ends. And it's not nice either way. It's not for us to comment on people's bodies. We can encourage good eating habits by enforcing our own good eating habits, and also allowing people to eat for them. I don't promote one diet over the other. I promote the diet I have because I enjoy it. And I say that diet is like vegan flex. I do enjoy eating mostly vegan and plant-based, but flexing. But I also do feel that I notice that, I don't know if it's people who are drawn to diets that are trending, or I don't want to say food and diets that are trending. I don't want it so that people are drawn, I don't want to say that people who are drawn to diets that are trending are people who must be suffering from disordered eating. But I do feel like, and the reason why I'm even speaking on this is not just because of the conversation with my partner that led me to realize that I do have disordered eating, but phones listen to everything. And I was on Clubhouse, and while I was on Clubhouse is this amazing app that helps connect people in a way that's pretty much like a ongoing Twitter, but it's like podcast style. So you can join in conversations, you can start conversations at any given time and talk to anyone anywhere around the world that's a part of this group. Right now the app is in beta, and I got to use it, and phones listen. I was having a conversation last night, clearly, with my partner, and the phone probably heard, and I happened to, and I think it's also a mixture of destiny. Like, I think there are synchronistic moments in our life where things align right at the time we need it to. And for me, the thing that aligned was, I happened to open Clubhouse at that moment, and there was a woman named Erica who started a conversation on disordered eating for Black women, and I felt seen. I finally was able to talk to people like myself who I had no idea were going through the same thing, and I didn't realize how normal it was that we would not eat and then beat ourselves up about eating, or that we also grew up in Caribbean families or immigrant families where, you know, our parents constantly talked about our weight. You know, I think like when you come from immigrant culture or third world countries, it's common to have this notion that like you could just tell anyone anything. I don't know if it's like growing up from a Jamaican family or Caribbean family, but yes, people just say what's on their minds, and I love that. But I also feel like it can be a little harsh, especially when you are first generation Jamaican American, and you know, you're growing up in this westernized culture where you're supposed to be skinny, and European beauty aesthetics is what is preferred, and you also being decolonized from what you're being taught, because you're realizing that, and that's what I'm going through. I'm also on the Sacred Woman journey with Queen Afua. So, and ironically, this week is Sacred Healing, which is part of the 12-week journey. And the fact that I'm healing in this way, I think, is beautiful. But I'm getting off track, y'all. Sorry. But it all ties together, and that's why I'm expressing all of this. But I will wrap it up. I will. That Clubhouse conversation inspired me to share myself in this way. And then after I dropped my partner off at the airport, and he was right there when the conversation happened too. So I showed him, and he was like, yo, like, that's for you. Like, and it's funny because he was trying to put me on Clubhouse. I mean, I don't know what the future holds, but I know that this person is definitely a soulmate partner for me, and we were connected for a reason as well, because if he didn't tell me about Clubhouse and invite me to the app, I would have never had this conversation that would empower me enough to make this video. And before I get into the shout outs and the thank yous I have, because there are some people I do want to celebrate and love on for even being a part of this journey, helping me grow as a person, and all that good stuff. Before I get to that, I do want to ask or just leave 4 questions for anyone who is thinking that this video resonated with them in a way that they are wondering if they might be battling with the same thing. Know that these questions are for you. So the first question is, do thoughts about food, body, and exercise, I can't even read my writing, y'all. Do thoughts about food, body, and exercise prevent concentration or impede performance at work or school? For me, it definitely has. As someone who's a SAG actor and has worked on set, who's someone who's also has been a yoga instructor, still is a yoga instructor, and that's something else I'm working on, the confidence to practice more and teach more, because it's something I'm capable of. Did it affect me? It absolutely did. Many people who went to Hot 8 Yoga with me, Koreatown, I grew so much there, and Hot 8 Yoga Beverly Hills, shout out to y'all. You guys may know that, like, I would work out obsessively there, and although hot yoga was good, I probably did push myself a little too far in some instances, and I think you guys did lovingly comment on it. At the time, I don't think I had noticed it enough, but I think that I do want you guys to know that those moments where you mentioned to be balanced and be healthy, they resonated because they're still here with me. Okay, next one is socializing restricting because it might require eating in a restaurant, consumption of food that's scary, uncomfortable, or a disruption of your exercise routine. Again, I'll tell my experience of that's something I battle it with, because there's many times I was hesitant to go out eating. Often I'm doing a food journey and I've been super restrictive where I won't allow myself to socialize if I'm really trying to focus on weight loss or fitness. And goals are great to have, but balance is also good to have, and I'm working on it. So if you are someone who's also battling with that, know that it's okay to recognize that it is disordered. It is an unhealthy way of being, but know that you can change. Know that acknowledging it is the first step to changing it. The next is food consumption or restriction as a way of coping with stress or managing problems. Again, I think I've spoken on that a lot in this video, so know that if you are dealing with that, then anxiety, and you notice your emotions are tied to food, I would definitely say Google. If you're Googling and you're noticing, I Googled stress eating and I had like 8 out of 10 symptoms. And then I noticed my period, and then my partner spoke to me, and I noticed how it was affecting our relationship. This anxiety and this way of trying to control my diet was hurting. Someone was seeing it, and it was hurting them too. So know that there are people who love you that might be seeing it, that might be concerned, that might be worried, and want to say something and don't know how. And know that if you're on the other end of that and you do want to say something, be kind. You know, just maybe encourage, hey, why don't we like try to drink more water, or let's go get food every other, like this time. Like, be a partner, be a team player, encourage like eating together. In my shout outs, I do want to talk about people who did that with me, and yeah, that is something that will help. That is something that has helped me. And the last question, how much discomfort do thoughts of food and body cause? Are those thoughts hard to shake, anxiety provoking? For me, yes. That's why I've been talking about 40 minutes about it, because it is something that's caused me discomfort. I'm crying. My knee is up. I'm noticing the way I'm physically reacting in this space. It is something that I'm guarded about. It is something that I'm going to put my foot down, because I do want to be vulnerable about. And I do want to share myself with you guys. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. I'm still hoping to teach and educate people on health and wellness. I plan to do that through my personal experiences. I plan to do that through continuing to study and learn, because I have to take care of myself in order to take care of my world, the people around me, in order to be a better partner to my boyfriend or to anybody, and most importantly to myself. In order to be better to myself, I have to take care of myself, and that's what this sacred healing journey is about. So I know I talked about disordered eating. I know I talked about my sacred woman journey. I know I talked about my relationships and how the impact of relationships have affected me, good and bad. But what I will say is, with every relationship, you learn, you grow, and most importantly, you become more in tune with who you are as a person. And I'm grateful for that. So I do want to thank some people who helped me get to this point of making this video. And I will say, in no particular order, because you guys are all super impactful, and we've all had our experiences together, and just letting you know that, ooh, my heart, ooh. This was hard. This was very hard to do. So I cannot wait to share this. But some people I want to thank. With no further ado, Roxy, you are the first person to tell me that I should make a YouTube channel. But you were my first serious creative partner. I've never had a writing partner. Writing has always been personal or something that I half-assed do. So thank you, Roxy, for starting off as a writing partner. And although sometimes we don't speak much because of our schedules, and because you are running an amazing YouTube channel and you are walking in your purpose, shout out to you and Terrell.
I know. I could be pretty long-winded, but I really wanted to share my story with you. If you got through part 1 through 3, I really hope you enjoy part 4. Thanks so much for watching. With love, Cole.